growing up, we never got to go to town. Mama went on Friday to the grocery store, and we never went to town. We walked to the country store. Now, if we was lucky, Daddy always bought us pop on Friday. But if we was lucky to find a quarter that week, we would walk about a mile and a half and carry us 6 bottles, empty bottles, and trade them in and get us 6 Pepsis for a quarter and walk back with them. But we always had to walk when we went anywhere. Mama didn't drive.
Well, we raised the mountaineer half runners. A lot of people like the Blue Lake and all, but we like the mountaineer because they're good climbers and they climb good too. And then they last longer and bear longer. So that's
and they're not tough.
Yeah, they're real tender. They're the Tennessee Mountaineer half runner. They're a real tender bean. They're a medium-sized bean, so that they don't get like really big. So they're the medium size, but they're a super tender bean. And that's what we always raise.
Okay, this is Memaw, and I am getting ready to can green beans today. But first, we got to prep everything up and get all my jars washed up and get them ready. And then we will be ready to start working on our beans and start canning. So I'll be back. Canner washed. If you can see, this little part comes out. This is what your jars set on. So you always want to make sure you have that in, because if you don't, your jars are going to get too hot on the bottom and they're going to bust inside your canner. This is my new ring. This is my old ring. You can tell my canner is over 40 years old and I'm still using it. And my ring got to where it wasn't sealing, so I had to go last year and order me a new ring online. So it works real fine. I got my pressure canner top washed, and I always run water to make sure that this little knob right here, this is where your pressure is going to release. So I always run water through it to make sure that it's not stopped up or anything. And that water will run freely through it, and that way you won't have to worry about it blowing up on you. So other than that, I got my canner ready. I got my jars washed, and my beans have been picked and broke, so I wash them and go ahead and get ready to put them in the jars. I'll go step by step to show you how to do that. And canning green beans is the easiest thing that you're going to ever can. But anybody that's never done it before is the reason I'll go step by step, and that way, once you see this, you'll be able to do it from now on. Got them ready. So right now, I'm going to fill my jars up with my beans. So I'm going to put them in. You want to mash them down, so just like that. And then you fill your jar with cold water. Always use cold water when you're canning. And you fill it up to the top. And then you put your seal on it. I'll do all 7 quarts. And then I'll take them outside and put them in my canner. Once I put them in my canner, I'll fill my canner full of water to where it will come about to right here on my jars. And when it comes to right there, then I know I've got enough water in them, and I can put my lid on them and heat, and then I can start canning. 10 pounds of pressure, and I'll cook it. When it starts jiggling, I'll time it for 20 minutes, and then I'll cut her off. Okay, my pressure canner has started jiggling. That means it's running on 10 pounds of pressure. And I'm going to let it do this for 20 minutes. And when 20 minutes is up, I'll go ahead and cut the heat off. And it'll cool down all by itself. Once it cools and there's no pressure left, then I can take the lid off and take the beans out. Hey guys, first run of green beans for this year just come off. This is my gauge I was telling you about that I do on 10 pound pressure. You can see there'll be a 10, a 15, and a 5. And I always can on a 10 pound pressure because I don't like my vegetables to be mush. I like them just to be crisp. So I always use 10 pound pressure. And this is our first green beans this year, with plenty more to come.
We're trying to do green beans at the same time, and they just come off, and the lids on these pots are extremely hot. So I've crocheted Mom some what they call pot holders. Goes right over the hole of the knob of your pot lid. Take your pot lids right off and you won't get burnt. See, our green beans are cooling. They're about ready to come out of the pot. That's a handy dandy gadget that I got Mom at the Dollar General store that helps get your jars out of that hot water easier. Hi, Aunt Cindy here. Granny and I are making kosher dill pickles. We cut these pickles up today and we let them sit in ice alum water all day. Now we're rinsing them off good and we're packing them in our jars so we get ready to pull our dill seasoning on them. Okay, we got our cucumbers in our jars and we're going to boil our solution. Okay, our packet of dill spices are starting to cook, and our white vinegar. Bring it to a good boil. Our solution's finally boiled, and Granny's filling our jars up. So I'll get off here and put the lids on for her. Okay, we got our pickles in a water bath, and we're going to give them a good boiling bath for about 5-10 minutes. Ain't Cindy here, folks. Been a long, hard day. Got our beans canned, got our dill pickles canned, got our pickles in the crocks washed, and I broke half a bushel of beans. And you'll have to just excuse this mess on my face. It's caused by a CPAP burn. So I will have to get off, take me a shower, because tomorrow I get to go to the doctor.
Now for some fresh garden green beans. And honestly, green beans are always good, but these, I can honestly say these are the best green beans I've ever eaten. They're delicious.
They are ice runners. We won't can the others. Ice runners is all we make.
High furnace, that's it.
A lot of people don't like the high furnace because they've got strings on them, but
Those are called mountaineer high furnace.
anybody can pull a string off.
Right.
Well, I wonder how the old folks are at home. Wonder if they miss me while I roam. Wonder if they'll pray for the boy went away, left his dear old parents all alone. You can hear the cattle going in the lane. You can see the fields of bluegrass where I roam. You can almost hear them cry as they kiss the boy goodbye. Well, I wonder how the old folks are at home. It's a village and a homestead on the farm, and a mother's love to shield you from all harm. Mother's love so true, and a sweetheart that loves you.